Hey guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought we would put the final finish onto our 1911 grips today. So for that I've got two things. I've got some sandpaper and I've got some tung oil. Two reasons I'm using tung oil. One is that I cannot for the life of me find my boiled linseed. I may have to get a new batch, but also tung oil is pretty good. You know, it's used on things like gun stocks, I assume grips as well, and it's kind of really good at sort of fighting off oils, you know, all that kind of thing. It's used a lot in the sort of kitchenware sort of stuff. So it's really good for not getting gunge and muck and things in there and kind of bacteria and whatnot. So that's what I'm going to be using. It will darken these grips ever so slightly, as most oils will do. But to be honest, you know, the 1911 is quite a dark pistol. And I think, you know, having these really bright on there is probably not the best idea. So we'll see how this grain comes out afterwards. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move the camera a little bit closer in and we'll make a start. Right then guys, so to start with, all I really want to do is get these prepared for the oil. So I've got two pieces of sandpaper here. I've got a, what have I got? I've got a 240 and a 400. I mean, this is officially more emery paper, but it's fine for what I'm doing. Now obviously with these grips, we've made a good start. We did a lot of the hard work with the Dremel, getting the most of the waste wood off. And really all I want to do now is just continue smoothing this down, get rid of any rough spots, get rid of all these kind of sharp corners and just generally make them a little bit tidier. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this one first. I'll bring this one back into the shot afterwards, just so you can get a comparison of sort of before and after. Now I'll speed through this footage because sanding is definitely not the most interesting thing to watch, and I'll come back when we made a bit of progress. Right, so there you go guys. Hopefully it certainly looks a lot nicer to me. I don't know about you, but if I just bring back in the other one, hopefully you can see the difference between this one that I've just sanded and this one that still needs sanding. Now I don't think I'll bore you with the rest of this process. What I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this one off. I'll give them both a quick run over with the 400 grit just to give them that final little bit of smoothness, and I'll come back when we're ready to oil. Right then, so here are our grips, all nice and freshly sanded. I've done a little bit of sanding on the back as well, just to smooth them down a bit. And hopefully you'll agree they're looking quite nice. Now, what I've got here is just a little piece of tin foil that I've folded up into sort of a container. I much prefer using stuff like this, just because it saves on cleaning and so on and so forth. And all I'm going to do is take my tung oil, and I'm just going to get a small amount of it in the bottom of the tub to begin with, because I want this to soak all the way through these grips. So I'm going to take the first one, just let that spread out a little bit more. There you go. So first grip is in and nicely covered. Second one, same as before, and then it's just a case of putting a little bit of oil on the top of each one. And this first coating, because this will take several coats, but this first coating is the really important one. What you want to make sure is that it gets really saturated, and hopefully you can see that colour change there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this for probably half an hour, let it really soak into the wood, take it out, give it a wipe off, let that rest for a short period, and probably, I suspect, you know, I was going to do the finishing completely today and get these back onto the pistol. Unfortunately, this is going to take several coats, so I think what I'll do between now and the next episode, I'll just carry on doing this, and every time I take it out and wipe off the excess, leave it, you know, for maybe half an hour to an hour. The grain may start to rise, which is fine. You can just get your really fine sandpaper again, give it a very, very light going over, hardly any pressure at all, just to get rid of the raised grain, and then go through the process again. So I'll do this kind of probably on a daily basis now for the next 5 or 6 days, by which point it should be absolutely fine. As soon as the wood stops absorbing any more oil, you know you're pretty much good to go. Right then guys, well that's it for today. As I say, I'm going to spend the next several days sort of rinse and repeating, basically, wiping off the excess, letting it kind of dry out, for lack of a better term, and then resubmerging it. I have just wiped the excess off one of these just to show you before I go, and hopefully you'll agree, you know, that's actually looking really nice with that oil finish on there now. There's still a little bit of excess on there, but you know, you get the idea. And even though I've kept these smooth, I did consider using one of the cutting discs for the Dremel to try and put some checkering in. But to be honest, these actually looked so nice that I thought, A, I don't want to disrupt the grain too much because you've got that really nice sort of patterning in there, and secondly, I don't really trust myself to do something quite that intricate and detailed, at least on something as nice as this. So as I say guys, hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below, and I hope you'll all join me next week when I come to put these back on the 1911.